So in this video, I'm just going to be comparing the book The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros with the Hayao Miyazaki film called Spirited Away. So yeah, let's just get started. So if you haven't heard of either of these, The House on Mango Street is about a girl called Esperanza in her everyday life living in the Latino community in a low-income neighborhood. This element is similar to the story of Spirited Away, as it follows Chihiro, a young girl as well, and her fantasized journey with trying to get her parents back. During this process, her character development is similar to Esperanza's, as they both have to learn to be content with their environment and identify ways in which their experience will help them in the future. Esperanza and Chihiro both seem to have an ominous type of wisdom and knowing that the adults in the stories don't have. For example, Esperanza begins to question everything that her family and her community has taught and normalized for her. Why do women see sexuality as an escape only to end up under the shadow of their husbands? Why can't she live her dreams as a writer throughout her adulthood instead of having that expectation to get married? And these are all valid questions that even women today have. And just for her to be that young and to be questioning those things just shows a level of maturity and knowledge and wisdom that she has. As for Chihiro, she finds herself in a situation as a result of her parents' childlike curiosity and greed. On the way to their new house, they stop and go through an abandoned village only to find a buffet full of just a bunch of food, and no one was there for them to, consult and be like, hey, is this okay? Can we eat this? So they just start to indulge in it and indulge. And Chihiro knew it was wrong, but as her parents continue to indulge, she returns to find them transformed into pigs due to their ignorance. Throughout her journey trying to get them back, we see her fear and worry transform into content and calmness. She stops worrying about getting home and finding her parents as much, and she begins to just go through the journey. And we see the same action of surrender happen in Esperanza's character as well. She begins to accept her house and accept her community and accept her name, which were big themes that she was fighting throughout the story and ashamed of throughout the story. She stops fighting her identity and learns to just let everything be. When it comes to these two pieces of work, it's not just the characters that are similar. The techniques of using imagery is something that both creators did as well. They use imagery as a big aspect in their work in order to evoke more emotion out of the viewer. Hayao Miyazaki is known for the beautiful artwork and aesthetics he continues to use in each of his films. The visuals bring a sense of calm to the viewer, even in the midst of chaos. This, I think, is what makes his work so appealing to so many people. It's rare to see that type of contrast, especially in animated films that Miyazaki provides. Sandra Cisneros also uses this type of imagery in House on Mango Street. She can make the most chaotic and twisted ideas sound stunning with her words and imagery. For example, in House on Mango Street, when Esperanza is describing her aunt who is sick and dying, she explains her time with her in a way that is peaceful and really not sad at all. She also uses metaphors as a form of imagery. For example, in the chapter 4 Skinny Trees, Esperanza compares her and her friends with 4 skinny trees. It was such a brilliant way to allow the reader to visualize and just understand more how she was feeling at that moment. I think that played a huge part in why I chose to paint this picture. And basically, it's the house that's on the front of the book, The House on Mango Street, which I'm assuming is her house, Esperanza's house. And the background is very Hayao Miyazaki influenced. I really wanted to capture the essence of the skies that he has in his films and just the artwork. I can never capture it fully or in its full essence, but that was what I was inspired from, and the imagery just plays a huge part in the success of both of these pieces of work. House on Mango Street and Spirited Away are both two pieces of work that I absolutely adore. I find them both to be inspiring and healing, which is why it was so easy for me to make connections between the two. even though they probably wouldn't be so obvious to someone who's unfamiliar with them. If you haven't read or watched either of these, I definitely recommend that you do. The creators are both brilliant, and I feel like you can learn something from each of these, no matter what type of person you are. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So I'm gonna let Painting Hannah, do her thing, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I've seen enough.